Friday. It's Happy Friday. Yay. All right, guys. So go ahead and come on in here. Let me get started. So it's our free live event, and y'all can ask me whatever you want to ask me about. All that I ask is that you be specific with your questions, so that way I don't have to try to figure out what you want to know or what you're asking me. Asking me for a reading or asking me for to tell you something is a waste of your time. Like, just ask the question: what specifically do you want to know? So that's one. Let's see. If you're asking about a situation in your life, be specific. Like, what is it that you want to know specifically, and don't just make it general. If you want to know about a loved one in spirit, who do you want to connect with? And I'll try to connect and get something to help you feel, hopefully that will help you to know that they're with you and to affirm the connection as well. It is always easier to do connections with spirit, with someone that's live, I mean, talking to you, but I can still do it via the comments. So you can just ask me through that. But if you're wanting to come on to video and live, I'm more than happy to have you on. So if you want to be on video, you got to get over to Instagram though, because Instagram's where I'm doing all the lives these days. And so get your butt over to Instagram. If not, then I'll just do it through comments in that way. Let's see. What else? What else? What else? If you get tired of waiting for me to answer your question, which I try to answer questions for new people who are fresh or new, and But sometimes I may read for people who've already been in here as well. But I try to pick new people every single time because I want to be fair. And so if totally lost my train of thought, they're like taking over. Oh yeah, yeah. So I don't go in any particular order. I just kind of bounce around and go with what I feel or where I feel I need to connect to. So there's that. What else? What else? What else? Like, I'm having like brain farts today. It's like, what's going on with my brain? It's like I'm not concentrating. Um, oh yeah, yeah. If you get tired, if so, to know more about me, because people after these lives, people start like messaging me or texting me or DM messaging me. I don't respond to DMs, y'all. I don't respond to private messages. The easiest way to find out more about me is just to simply go to my website, fernandomarone.com. If you don't know how to get there, and you just want to, you can, if you're on Instagram, right next to the message button or DM button, there's a go to website or book now. That's where you want to go. Pick that because that'll take you to the website, or just go to fernandomarone.com. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, same thing. Just go to fernandomarone.com. There's no point in trying to message me or trying to text message me because I don't respond to those when everything is easy. And I still have people like, hey, I need to know your availability and your pricing. And Mondays and Tuesdays are good for me. And then that's it. I'm like, why are you messaging me? Like, there's an easy way to book an appointment. Go to the website. Let's see, what else? What else? What else? So there's that. If y'all can do me a favor, if y'all can send out this video to whoever, so just like the little share button, if you can share it with whoever you want to share it with, whether it's your following or just people that you feel might benefit from a reading or a connection with their loved one as well. The more the merrier. And part of my goal here isn't just to do readings for y'all, but it's also just to share the knowledge, share the awareness, share the validity of this ability and what y'all can do too, because it's not like I'm not special. I only know the process and I've practiced it, but we can all do this. So it's not just like me that can do it. Every one of you has this ability. And so for people to think that this is just a unique few people, no, no, no. Everybody can do what I do. I think that's it. As usual, my statements are personal opinions, not proven facts. Whatever decisions or actions you take, you are 100% responsible and liable for. You can change your future. It is never set in stone. Everything that I share with you is an interpretation of energy. It's a forecast of what I believe will happen based on what I'm sensing. It's not set in stone. You can always change your future. And lastly, I am not a licensed medical doctor, counselor, attorney, or law enforcement official. You can still ask me those kinds of questions, but for legal medical advice or treatment, you should always consult with a licensed professional. All right, so I'm going to get started here. And by the way, if you're on YouTube and Facebook, you may get hit by a troll, someone who messages you or tries to respond to your comment, asking you to DM them or to private message them or that they want to give you a reading. they were not going to give you a reading. These are people who make up these profiles and then they pretend to actually be a person. And then as soon as you DM, they basically pull you into a scam and they take your money. So do not respond. It is not worth it. And you will get your money taken. So be careful. All right, so let's get started here. I'm not going in any particular order. Lena Freeman. Hi, will I get the home I'm going to apply for this weekend? So there might be a little bit of a bidding war, or there might be a situation where there's more than one individual who may be trying to get that property or to get that home. So you may need to move more quickly. If you wait, you might miss out. And it's possible that by the time you actually get around to applying, it may already be pending, or somebody else may already be on the move on. So you may need to move faster. If not, you're going to lose out on it. And as of right now, I kind of get that vibe or get that sense that you'll lose out. So you may need to move faster. Yeah, Christina Garza. Hello, Ferny. Do you have any messages from my daughter-in-law that passed? Her name is Amber, um, and today is her 4-year passing. Yes. Interestingly enough, she's making the gesture for a baby or symbol for a baby. So I don't know if there's a baby that's named after her, if she shares her name with another Amber, or she's just acknowledging a baby coming into the family or a baby being with her. But I'm thinking that's what she's talking about. She's showing me a tree. I don't know if y'all are planning on planting a tree or planting something next to a tree in honor of her, but she's showing me something like that. So there's a reference there. She's also showing me an image of her, and this might have been at like a party or like or even at the beach, and it feels like, people playing with the ball or throwing the ball back and forth to each other. She's showing me something like this. So there might be a picture of her or an image of her doing something like that. And this may be also something that she's trying to verify or validate. She also keeps acknowledging. Thank you. She's showing me a necklace that's got two pieces to it, or I have two pieces that connect to it. So there might be well, it could be two necklaces, but I'm thinking it's one necklace with two pieces to it. So that's what I'm thinking, or that's where I feel she's going with it. Okay. Taylor M. Gonzalez. What should I do for my career path? I actually think that you might be really good at being an assistant or some sort of like executive assistant. And what I mean by that is an executive assistant or assistant is someone who isn't just like doing, things for someone. They're actually like on top of it. So for example, like I have an assistant. My assistant Roxy, she manages all of the emails. She manages all of the social media direct messages because I send all that to her to deal with. She manages all of that. Back when I used to work in Houston, she used to run around and do stuff for me as well. Not just errands, but actually like get things taken care of. Someone that's kind of like a manager for someone who has a business. So I feel like a business manager or a life manager, something like that, that you could consider to be an assistant. I feel like you would actually be really good at, because you might be able to coordinate and do not only that, but you would feel appreciated. And I think that that's something that you could go into, even though it's not technically like a career. I think it is a path that would work for you. I also think that you might have an opportunity to get involved in something like a personal business as well. But I don't think that you have the personality to like follow through with the personal business, even though I think that that would be also a good option for you as well. But I feel more confident with you going into some sort of it, like I said, like a assistant or almost like a not a professional planner. It's more like, what is the word? I'm trying to find the proper word because I feel like it's a word that would better. I guess it's just gonna be assistant because I'm seeing that's the best word that I can think of right now. But it's something like that. So just look into that. Okay. Um, Stacy, hi Ferny. I am wondering if my ex-husband's mental state will ever improve so he can be a better dad. Also, will this divorce ever be final? Yeah, it should be final in about 3.5 months. So it may still take a little longer, but 3.5 months, I'm thinking it should be done with. As far as your ex's mental state is concerned, I don't think that he's ever going to get to the right state of mind. In fact, I almost feel like he's going to get worse. And I also think that he may start to form some habits. So it's not going to be easy. To deal with him. So I don't feel like it's going to get better for him. Part of it is that he keeps blaming everybody else, or he doesn't want to take accountability for himself, and I think that's part of the issue. Hues of love and light. Hey, Fernie, you're looking dapper. Thank you. So, my question, I recently cut it off with a guy who was courting me. My intuition says it was not aligned and I cut it off. Did I make the right choice? I think so. A part of it is I think that there was more to his story or more to what was going on than he was letting on. But I also think that he may have actually been the kind of person who might have easily become either possessive or dominating. And you may not have experienced that part of his personality or nature yet, but I feel like that it feels like that would be part of the thing. I think that you made the right decision, or that you made a good decision, so I don't feel bad about it. Latoya, well, I received the funds from two places. I've been waiting 2 months. I expect that you will get the funds from the first place or the main place. The second place, either something just doesn't work out the way that it was supposed to, or something gets completely derailed, and it's going to feel like way more effort or way more work to just try to get that than to yeah, it's going to feel like it's more effort to try to get it. So you might decide to just let that be, or you may just decide it's not going to be worth it for you. But I do think the main place or the first place, I do think that you will get the funds that you're expecting. Also, let with the second place or the place that you don't get the funds from, or you don't get the money you're due, make a mental note, because you don't want to encounter or deal with those types of people or those types of organizations in the future. So that way you don't find yourself having to deal with the same BS in the future. Yeah, Daya. Hi, Fernie. I'm graduating in the next month from my high school, and I lost both my grandparents on my dad's side. They have any messages for me? Thank you. Yeah, first of all, they're congratulating you, so they're letting you know that. Your grandmother on that side, what's interesting is she keeps giving you kisses on the cheek, or she keeps wanting to kiss you. So it's almost like either she was either a big kisser, or she just is wanting to give you a lot of kisses. I also keep seeing a picture where you were small, and she may actually have you standing next to her legs or sitting on her lap. And there's a picture like that as well. She also makes me feel like she's the one that's kind of wanting to communicate more than he is. That doesn't mean that he doesn't care. It's just mean that she's the one that's taking control of the conversation. She's acknowledging she tried to let you know in a dream a few months ago. So you might have had a dream about one of them a few months ago, and that they were trying to let you know that they were happy or excited for you as well. Also, it's funny because I keep seeing a green outfit. I don't know if they're acknowledging you wearing a green outfit, or if there's a picture of one of them with a specific green outfit that is your favorite that they're making reference to. Yeah, Lisa. Lisa says, hi, Franny. I have this sparrow that keeps landing on my railing when I open my door. It's happened a few times over the weekend. Is there a meaning or message? Thank you. Yeah, I feel this is a male. Um, Either this is a, I feel like this is a male. I also feel when I was first thinking about this, I was thinking this was like an older male, like a father figure or grandfather figure. But now that I'm talking about it, it almost feels a little bit different. There may actually be a younger male. When I say younger, I don't mean younger to you, but like to your side, or younger than like a father or grandfather figure. There's a male who is wanting to let everybody know that he's at peace or that he's okay. He may have also died suddenly or unexpectedly. He may also be a friend or a coworker to someone that you're directly connected to or your immediate family. And he may not have passed that long ago, so this might be something that's fairly recent. But I feel like this sparrow may actually be connected to this younger male who's passed. So it's just because when I think of that, it's like I know I talk to clients. I'm thinking because my memories are getting triggered, and when I talk to clients where they're like, my best friend passed away, and we used to go out all the time, and it was such a good, and I miss him a lot, and is he okay? Like that's the way I feel like I want to talk about this person. So they have that energy to them. R. Rajek. Hi, Ferny. I've had a few rough years financially. Will this be a better year financially for my husband and myself? So I feel part of this is that you may need to accept the situation and not fight it. And I feel like you could potentially either consolidate some of your financial fees or debts, or you might be able to kind of get it worked down so that you don't technically have to cover all of that or just deal with money that's owed. I do think that and that could be like refinancing stuff, consolidating debt, all that stuff. So I would say that you probably need to go that approach. I also think that you might need to file um, the way that you're dealing with taxes or the way that taxes are being filed, I don't feel like something's off or something feels like it's not done appropriately, and you might be like screwing yourself out of like a benefit through the government or a benefit from what's available for your bracket. So you might need to look into that because I feel like there's more available to you. With that being said, to answer your question, I still think this year is going to be a bit rocky as well. So you're probably going to have to watch your budget and try to reduce your spending and try to live within the means. However, I do think that there's a boost financially in January. I think that the boost is going to help out. I also think that when that increase happens, I also think you still have to be very careful because I can see you just not just acting like nothing has really changed and trying to do even more, make worse bad decisions or bad choices with money and spending that would just be basically back in the same boat again. So you probably need to be careful with your spending habits and change some of your strategies there. But I do think that there's a shift financially in January that might give you an advantage to be able to see more stability in this area. Let's go over here. Um, Alejavel Lasco, 21. Aleja Velasco, I think that's what it is, 21. Hi, Fernie. My wife has really bad anxiety and so thyroid issue. Would this ever go away and she doesn't feel the anxiety? I think that it can definitely get better and improve. Honestly, I think she probably needs to get on a different type of medication for her thyroid or get on a medication for her thyroid. When I think of her, I keep thinking of my aunt. I have an aunt who she had thyroid condition and she had been on a specific medication for quite some time, and then she went to a new doctor and the doctor wanted to put her on a different medication because the one that she had been taking for a while, either there was more side effects to that one or she just felt like it wouldn't be the best option for her. When she changed her thyroid medication, my aunt, who this is a person who she's like, she didn't need anybody with her. She would go shopping by herself. She would go do stuff on her own. She didn't really need anybody to like do anything with her. Very independent. And then once she switched medications, she started having crazy anxiety where she was almost paranoid about going out in public. She was scared about driving. She was just having the weirdest anxiety about the most like subtle things. And she was becoming this very much recluse, didn't want to go out, didn't want to participate in stuff. So it was hard for her. And I was also suffering from depression. And she kept saying she thought that it started up when they changed her medication, but every time they checked her thyroid, they said her thyroid was fine and it was it was operating the way it should, but she just wouldn't let it go. And so after a while, people just said, well, what do we have to lose? So they took her back to the old doctor. They got her back on the old medication, went away completely stopped. So sometimes it's that subtle of a change. And so what I would say is she probably needs to look into either a different medication or a medication that can help to stabilize her condition. And I do think it will make things better. So that's what I would suggest. Okay. Yeah, Andrea R. Solis. Hi, Ferny. Can you let me know if there are any messages from my spirit guides? Thank you so much. Yeah, your main guide is wanting you to have more fun and to take more risks doing things that are completely out of your like comfort zone and would scare the hell out of you. In other words, here's an example of this. So, like, even though I'm from Texas and most of my family is there, I have family who have never left the state of Texas. Like, they just stay in Houston or they stay there. So they don't really travel. They don't go out and push their boundaries. And so my mom has never left Texas until I brought her up to New Mexico to come visit, and that was like her first real trip to any other state. I think for you, you need to step outside of your comfort zone and start planning like excursions or trips because I think that that would help with some of your energy. Sometimes we get so used to being a certain way that we don't realize how much these kinds of experiences would have on us psychologically. And they are making me feel as if you need to push yourself outside of your comfort zone and not feel as if you always have to be worried about what your family would want or what your friends would want or, having to do stuff with other people. Like just do something, like plan something for yourself and then go for it. Like have fun and enjoy yourself. And that's what I'm talking about, like having more fun and taking more risks, especially when it comes to spending time at a property near the ocean or possibly investing in a property near the ocean. So keep your eyes open for something like that because that could be something that comes up in the next few years that would be beneficial to you. Flame of the Soul. So, will I be getting an RV or a trailer in the future for my living situation? I actually think that it will be an RV. I think that you might rent an RV or end up using an RV for about either 2 or 3 weeks or 2 or 3 months, and then you'll switch over to another piece of property. What I end up seeing at some point is you might spend some time out in like a desert area or like the southwestern area, because I keep seeing places like Sedona, I keep seeing places like here in New Mexico, but I also know that people have little like tiny houses that they rent out or houses like that they use as like cabins and such. I'm seeing something like that. So I'm thinking that you'll end up doing a RV for maybe for 2 or 3, which I'm thinking is either 2 or 3 weeks or 2 or 3 months, and then you'll switch over to like a smaller property like that, where it's like a tiny house or a smaller unit next to a larger one. And I think that will work better for you for a while. Nasnusi, will I ever be a manager or director in my job? I feel like there might be a cap or a limit to what you can do with the current job. I think you will still give it a go, and you might even decide you want to give it another shot for a good 2 or 3 more years before you decide to change your strategy. So I don't think that you're going to get that opportunity to step into that role. There may be conversation or talk about it towards the end of a year because of some changes with management, and I'm thinking that's at the end of this year. But it may not actually happen, and you may start to feel like it's just kind of dragging out, dragging out, dragging out. Here's what I will say though. If you make enough of a deal about it, or if you bring it up often enough, you might be able to kind of push your way through and be taken more seriously. So I would say you might want to push yourself a little bit harder as far as like bringing it up or bringing it up in conversation. Don't wait for someone to see your talent and then want to offer it to you. You need to kind of push for it. Brittany Giordano. Do you have a message for my husband's grandmother, Sue? Yeah, she showed me a wedding, so I don't know if she wasn't able to be present at the wedding or there's been a wedding since her passing, but she's acknowledging this or making reference to that. She also keeps acknowledging something being caught on camera, so she might be triggering either like a ring, or she might be triggering some camera that might kind of flip on and then capture some things, because I almost feel like I'm looking at like a video or a picture. She also makes me think roses or the smell of roses are going to be connected to her. She also keeps showing me something that reminds me of like a rosary, but it may not actually be a rosary. It might just be like beads that might be tied to her, or they are a rosary, but it's a different type of rosary than would be usual. So there might be a reference to that as well. Okay. And that she loves him. It's funny because she almost refers to him as if she were like his mother, not necessarily like acknowledging his mom, but like she acts like she's his mom. So, and like he's spoiled. She's making me feel who's real chiflado. He's real spoiled. Aw. You guys are so great. Y'all are like saying all these wonderful things about me. I was like, oh, y'all are sweet. Thanks. Thank you guys. Let's see. I'm saying hi to people. All right. Hey, por vida. Okay. Yeah. Who go check me, boo. Okay. Hey, Ferny, do you have any messages from either of my sons that passed? Their names are Antoine and DJ. Yeah. They're kind of getting on you because you might be putting up with another female's BS, whether this be an older female or just a female who thinks that she's got the best approach to everything and that whatever she says, people should pretty much like sop up with a biscuit. Like, no. I think that they're wanting you to put your foot down and to kind of set boundaries because you might be stressing yourself out more. And they're also making me feel that they keep trying to kind of pull you away from stressful people. And you might need to make it a point to like just spend less time with stressful people or find a better way to manage them because I don't think you're doing enough to do that. Also, a bird perching either perching at the top of a staircase or perching at the edge of the like overhead is a sign from them. So keep an eye out for it. And it might not even be the traditional bird. It might be like a unique bird, like a hawk or like an owl. So there's something like that that they're letting you know they come around you as well. Also, I'm seeing two tattoos, so there might be two tattoos connected to them as well. Actually, it may be it's funny because I want to say 2.5 tattoo, but I feel like there's two tattoos, but they're making me feel like there's another component that either is going to be added in or it was a two-part thing as well. All right, let's bring somebody on. Let's see. I think like time goes by so much faster now. I feel like time goes by really fast now. It's so interesting. Let's go here. Let's see.
Oh my
Hello. Hi, sweetheart. How you doing?
God, for you.
I'm good. I'm good. Just to let you know, there's baby energy around you, so you need to be careful because if you're not planning for a pregnancy, there might be baby energy around you within the next few months.
I can't have any
Okay,
babies.
it doesn't matter to me.
Uh,
It doesn't matter to me. Here's what I'm going to say. You need to be careful if you're not planning for it. If not, if you start to have weird stuff happening with your reproductive system, go and get it checked because you may need to follow up with a doctor. Because whenever I see baby energy, it means one of two things. Either there's a pregnancy, there's a baby shower being celebrated, there's a baby being born, or someone's reproductive system is acting really weird.
It's my reproductive system is I just told my husband is hurting. Something is going on,
Yeah.
and I've been seeing
Something's
my
growing.
OBGYN.
Something's
We're
growing. Yeah,
trying to figure out what's going
I
on.
think it's a fibroid. I think it's a fibroid or fibrocyst. It might be growing and starting to put pressure on different parts of your reproductive system. When you go, they may want to do two procedures. I do think something will be removed, but I also think they may want to go further and even discuss the potential of removing one of the ovaries or starting to affect one of the ovaries. If you go that route, that could affect your hormones. It may not be necessary, so you want to make sure you really check into that just to be sure.
I already got my uterus removed,
Oh,
so there's
there's
two
okay.
ovaries left. So, but one they know that's just continually is
You said
bothering
you
me.
said you had your uterus removed,
I had my uterus
but
removed, but
but you
I
still have the
still have
ovaries.
the ovaries,
How is
and
that? Like I always thought that when they remove the ovary, when they remove the uterus, that they have to also remove the ovaries. I thought that that's the
they
way.
don't have to. If your ovaries are good, they can still leave it in. But at that time, my ovaries were still good, but now it's starting to bother me really, really bad. It's to the point where I can't tolerate it
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
So,
You're probably gonna have something removed, and well, you'll have two procedures. There's the removal of the thing that's causing the pressure or the pain, and then they may want to remove one of the ovaries or address that. Hmm.
awesome. And then just another question. I mean, it all ties into my health.
Mm-hmm.
I've just is everything seems to be rapidly declining since 2020, and we can't figure out what is going on with me besides like the female parts.
Mm-hmm.
But I can barely drive now. Something's going on with my eyes. Just everything overall, my health has
Yeah.
just
It's
declined.
it's interesting because it almost feels like your body's pushing back on like an immune. It's your immune system, so you need to check your. You probably need to go to an immune specialist because I feel like it's your immune system. It feels like something's gotten into. Have you been to a what is it called? Oh my god, my brain is going blank.
Rheumatologist,
To a what?
rheumatologist.
No, no, not rheumatologist. Um, have you had any weird like shingles and skin stuff happen to you?
I just had an allergy test done because I've now become allergic to almost everything.
Okay.
Food wise,
Okay.
environment, everything.
Something that's supposed to okay, the lymphatic system. Thank you. Something is affecting the lymphatic system. It almost feels like your body doesn't have enough juice to fight off traditional allergens, and so it's as if regular allergens are like it's like they're attacking your system, and your body is starting to kind of have this weird like cycle back thing. So it's treating everything as if it's like a deadly thing, and it's starting to create this like immune issue. You probably need to follow up with an immune specialist because I feel this is a specific condition that there's a name for. I just don't know the name, but there's a specific condition. I do think that it can be improved with a couple of different medications and a type of infusion therapy that they've come up with to help with this kind of situation. You might have to deal with 3 separate types of specialists. I also think that by December you will feel better, but it's going to be a process.
Okay, right now I see about 5 different specialists.
You'll get it
I
down to
see
3. Yeah, you'll get it
I
down to
see
3.
an immunologist. So he's
Okay.
an allergist, immunologist, rheumatologist, and I also see a specialist over at Stanford Healthcare. So
It feels like yeah, because I keep seeing this. Yeah, there, where are you right now in the world?
in
Oh,
California,
perfect, perfect. Because I was gonna say I feel like you're gonna go to see a specialist in California, which you're already there. So I think that you're there. Where in California are you?
I am in the valley.
Okay, where's the valley? Is that like closer to like the border or?
No. We're like closer to the capital, so
Oh,
Sacramento Bay Area.
oh, okay, yeah. You might have to go down to closer to San Diego because there might be a specialist down there that you may have to specifically go and see. I feel like they're going to do a few blood draws, and I think that from the blood draws they may also find some additional things. The thing about it, it almost reminds me, it almost reminds me like whenever I hear of people and they have like they get bit by a tick and then they have end up having like a reaction. It almost reminds me of that. So there's a similarity to this that I feel is somehow connected.
I got bit by a mosquito, and this is what happened.
Okay, this is what I think.
Everything
Yeah,
kind of just went
it's like a
downhill.
yeah. I feel like it's a type of viral condition that feels like it's attacking your system and your body is reacting to everything as if everything is an enemy. And I think that this can what they're gonna have to do is I think they're gonna do a few things. One is they're gonna put you on some sort of infusion therapy, which is going to suppress your immune system, which sounds crazy, but it's almost as if it suppresses the immune system so that the body doesn't start to attack itself, and then they will specifically target that thing that is kind of like floating around, which I think they'll do it with a few blood draws. That will reduce certain cells in the body so that these cells can kind of start to propagate back into a normal state. And then at some point, I think that there's kind of it's like when they do like cancer and they do they're trying to remove the incidence of these cells in the body and they check to see your levels. It's the same thing. It's the same process, but I think that this is going to be kind of done in a few steps. You actually may be asked to participate in a research project or study because your case may be very specific and unique. It may not be a very common thing in the way that it's affecting you.
Do you think that they'll be able to see this sometime soon or figure this out sometime soon?
Yeah.
Or
I think you'll start a therapy in about 3 months. So I think it might take 3 months before you start the specific therapy that I'm thinking they're going to put you on. Some of it feels a little experimental, but I almost feel like there's no choice. They're going to have to go down this route. So I think that in about 3 months, you'll start some sort of therapy. And I think that it will take into the end of the year before you really start to feel like you're back to normal. You may have to use or be on a medication or a drug until they find something that's a bit more long term. And so you might have to deal with like a monthly shot or some sort of monthly injection that helps to reduce the effects on your system.
you are definitely correct because that is the treatment plan that Stanford has for me.
Yeah. So you're right on. You're right on.
We're getting there.
Yeah. You're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. You're not dying anytime soon, girl. You got plenty of life to live, so you're not going anywhere anytime soon.
Cheers.
I will not. I
Awesome.
don't allow it. I don't allow it.
Awesome.
All right,
Well,
sweetheart.
thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, sweetheart. Well, you take care of yourselves, and I wish you all the very best. And keep your head up.
All right, wonderful. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
You too, sweetheart. Bye
All
bye.
right, bye.
All right. Let's see. Um. Whoops. Let's see.
Hello.
Hello. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Question: have you ever thought about getting into like any kind of engineering work or like media engineering? Have you thought about anything like that?
No, not really. No.
Okay, keep your eyes open because you might get an opportunity to participate or to be a part of like a project that someone you know is going to get into. And it may include either documentary films or some sort of media. It feels like I'm seeing the behind the scenes stuff of media. And it's almost like engineering certain things a certain way or setting things up a certain way. And there may be opportunities that come your way that have to do with this. And I think that it would be great for you. And I also think it would give you an outlet to feel like you're contributing to something that you care about. So keep your eye open for that. And this may not show up for about 4 or 5 months or before next February. So just be on the lookout.
Okay.
All right. What do you want to ask me about?
Um, so, so ever since I've been like really young, I've suffered from hallucinations, and I just wanted to, I guess, make sure if it's like a medical condition or
Yeah.
if it's a spiritual.
Did you was the oxygen, did you suffer like oxygen reduction or lack of oxygen when you were a kid? Did something happen that you didn't have oxygen for a little while?
Um, no, not that I
Okay.
remember.
You might need to ask you might have been small enough or it might have been right after you're born, but what I keep seeing is a lack of oxygen and I also keep seeing like water. So this could either have to do with being in the water and lack of oxygen or just lack of oxygen.
Okay, I do remember joining like the swim team and jumping in and not being able to swim, like breathe.
Okay.
I almost drowned.
That's this. Okay, so here's the thing. I think that because of this, there might have been a little bit of an effect on parts of the brain that affect visual phenomena, and so some of the hallucinations you have may actually be part of a brain condition. I don't feel like it's going to keep you from having a normal life, but I do think you're going to have to learn how to tell the difference between something that is cognitively real and something that is actually just not. You might have to spend some time learning the difference between the two, but I don't think that it'll keep you from having a normal life.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, it may have also made you a bit more psychic, so be prepared for that because this is where it gets tricky. And so some of the stuff you experience may also be just spiritual stuff, and it's going to be a mix. So you may find yourself in one instance actually having a psychic experience, and then in another instance actually having a hallucinatory experience. If you go to the doctor, they may even want to even try to like say that you're schizophrenic. You're not schizophrenic. I don't think you're schizophrenic. I'm not a doctor, but I don't think you're schizophrenic. Or that you have a mental illness. I don't think there's a mental illness. I think it's a lack of oxygen that affected you as a kid and made you more susceptible to these kinds of conditions.
Okay. I do just have one more question. I think it was about a week ago. My mom captured some paranormal activity on the ring, on her ring camera, and we're just trying to figure out if it was actual paranormal activity or if it, like,
That is,
what it was.
yes, I believe that is a paranormal activity. I also think it's not a relative. I think it's a ghost. Big difference. A relative spirit would be someone that y'all knew who's coming back to visit. What I'm seeing is actually a individual who's kind of attached to that area or that property or the neighbor's house. And so they may just be coming around and y'all may just be catching glimpses of it. Question. Was there an old man who passed away like a house or two down? He might have even been a bit of a drinker. He was always like outside. Okay. This
Yeah, it was our neighbor next door
yeah,
that passed away.
this is him. He's coming around. He's just attached to the house, so he doesn't really. Some spirits and this is a ghost because I feel like this has become a ghost. So I think it's more of at this point he's more of a ghost. He may just not have wanted to cross over, or he's just kind of keeping himself attached to the property. Next time y'all see that, or next time y'all feel something, just let him know. Call him out by name and say, "Hey, you don't have to hang around. They're waiting for you up there. They got something." And make up something so that it feels like they have something like waiting for him that he would enjoy or love, to see if y'all can get him to cross over. Because if y'all can get him to do that, then he'll leave, and then y'all won't deal with that again.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, sweetheart. Y'all take care of yourselves.
All right. You too. Thank you.
Bye bye. All right. Let's see. That's good. Hello.
Hi,
Hi. How you doing? Hello. Hi, Mom.
here with my mom.
Hi, Mom. How you doing?
Very well, and you?
I'm great. Thank you for asking.
Great.
We had questions about her father.
Sure.
Who passed when she was young, and I never met. So
Yeah.
we're gonna possibly connect.
Yeah. So first of all, he's repeating his name 3 times. Are there 3 versions of the name in the family?
3 versions.
Mondi, Monder.
No. Last name or first name?
It's just 3 versions of a name. So usually I would think it'd be the first name or the middle name.
So Andy, Andrea,
Andrea.
Okay. So he's just acknowledging the 3 versions. There are 2 babies with him in spirit, so there might have been 2 children that were miscarried, lost, or terminated, because he's acknowledging 2 babies with him in spirit. He also knows of the 3 children since his passing as well. Were there 3 children born after his passing?
She has 3 boys.
Perfect. He knows about your 3 boys, so he's acknowledging that. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you. I keep seeing a trumpet or flute. Did he ever play music, or did he have a musical instrument?
No.
Okay.
Andrew playing the trumpet.
Oh, my nephew. Yeah, my nephew.
Okay, so he's acknowledging a trumpet or flute. So if there's someone that's been playing this, he's probably just making me aware that he knows or has been seeing stuff. You've actually seen him a few times, Mom, and it's a little like out of your corner of your eye or a spark, and you might see this from time to time. So it's not your eyes having issues, it's you actually seeing him, because he says he comes around to let you know. He also thank you. Did you have another father figure who's also passed, or someone else step in and be more of a
After my father passed away, his brother Louis.
Perfect. He's acknowledging the father figure that stepped in as well. His brothers also passed?
No, many of his other brothers have passed, but not this one.
Okay, so he's acknowledging another brother with him, but he's also acknowledging the brother that stepped in. He's shaking his hand, so I think he's his way of trying to say thank you, or thank you for being involved. He also keeps acknowledging thank you. Do you have a St. Christopher's medal, or is there a connection to Christopher?
No.
Okay. He's showing me something that reminds me of a St. Christopher's medal, so it might be a round medal that has some sort of writing or blessing, or there's a name Christopher that's significant.
No.
That's okay.
No.
I'm going to leave that with you. So just FYI with that as well. He also keeps it. He's showing me England. I'm going to England.
What? No.
Is there okay? You know how sometimes where people grow up, sometimes there'll be a whole family that is like they live on an entire block. Thank you. Okay, so here's an example of this. Okay.
We all lived on the same block.
Okay, because I have a family named Lopez, and they literally live on an entire block, and so he's showing me something like that. So he's acknowledging this. Is there also a Carrie or a Carolyn or Carol sounding name?
My girlfriend Carolyn.
Okay, like just girlfriend or just friend?
Just a friend of
Okay.
mine.
Did her grandmother pass away from cancer?
I'm not sure.
Okay, there's a female there, older than her, who's acknowledging cancer to her, bringing up the Carolyn name. So she might be trying to say hello to your friend or let her know that she's there.
Okay.
Your father also shows me a belt. Do y'all have a belt or a strap that is connected to him?
No. No.
I'm punching leather. So he have anything to do with the punching of leather? Or is there something significant about the punching of leather or indentions in leather?
Oh no. Could it be Freddie? Uncle Freddie? Shoes. Yeah. It's a relative that not her father, but dealt with leather, shoes, leather, stuff like that.
Oh, okay. So he worked with leather.
Well,
Not my
a relative though, not
Right.
different relative.
That's okay. That's okay. Because what's happening here is we may have a bunch of people trying to get in at the same time, so we may just be having people trying to drop
Right.
in and say something. That may just be connected to that person. Because the way I was seeing it is whenever you have like custom made clothing or clothing like belts and leather things that have specific patterns that are being punched into them. He also says, "Thank you." Like the new house. Did y'all just recently move, or did y'all just?
I did.
Perfect. He likes the new house. He likes the new house, so he's acknowledging that. He's with you, sweetheart. He says he's proud of you. He wants to let you know that. He's proud of you.
How about my mom? She passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Too.
It's funny energy. Could she be a little bit direct or to the point, Mom?
Oh yes.
Okay, because she's very much like, so you wanted to talk to him, but it's like she's almost getting on you or giving you a hard time about it. So she's acknowledging that. She also says thank you. Do you still have her cookware or her kitchenware?
No. No.
This is stuff that would have been very specific and unique, and they don't make it anymore. It may even have gone up in value that she would have had.
China stuff, no? The closet?
I don't have it. No.
Somebody has it.
Here's what I'm going to say. Your mom is acknowledging that someone has these, it feels like these trays. They might even be like silver or a type of polished silver that would have been worth something. She's letting you know you may need to ask people in the family because these may be actually worth something. There's just something about that. Your mom is also acknowledging, thank you. She's fine with what was done for her memorial service or for her funeral. She's not making a big deal about it. She also says she showed up in a dream to tell you something about watching the boys, but also to let you know that she was around you as well. So she's acknowledging that. She also says she's the one that smells perfumey when you're alone. So there's a perfumey kind of scent that comes around. That's her. She's letting you know about that. Rebecca. Is there a Becky or a Rebecca name connection?
No.
Okay.
No.
There's a Roberta, Rebecca, Becky.
There's a Robert, my son Robert, and my grandson Robert.
No, this is a female. There's a Becky or Becca or Rebecca person with her who's also passed. So when you find out who that is, just to let the people know that are connected to her that she's also there. But she's just letting you know who's with her. But she's also with you. She also she showed me the number 4. Do you know if the month of the 4th of a month or the month of April is connected?
My nephew Andrew was born, her grandson.
Got it. She says there's 3 dates. Are there 3 dates in April?
Yes, her mother's birthday was my nephew Andrew.
Yeah, she's fine. She's with you, sweetheart. And her mother is also with her as well, just so you know.
Right.
Yeah, she
right,
says she's giving her. She says I thought I got rid of her. Now I got to. So she's almost messing with her. So she's with you, sweetheart. She's with you. She says you're a tough cookie. She says you're a tough cookie, and she says you got it from her. So she says you got it from her. She says she wants to apologize to you because sometimes she could have come across a bit rude or a bit insensitive, and she didn't always acknowledge your feelings. But she says I understand now, and she says thank you. And so she's wanting to let you know that she's sorry if she ever hurt your feelings, but she does love you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Y'all take care of yourselves. You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay.
Bye-bye. All right, let's see. Going through here. Let's go to Vettel. Let's see. Hello. Oh. Let's see. Let me give you a moment to see if it'll clear up. You might need to turn off your Wi-Fi. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now. Hi, sweetheart. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What did you want to ask me about?
I wanted to ask about my brother that passed away about a year ago.
So with your brother,
Yeah.
don't tell me too much. Yeah, don't tell me too much. First of all, he keeps showing me a vehicle. Do y'all still have his vehicle, or was there something connected to his vehicle that was part of his passing?
It wasn't part of it,
That's
but we
okay.
still
Yeah,
have it.
yeah, that's okay. Don't tell me how he died. I want him to tell me. But he's acknowledging the vehicle. So y'all still have it, or y'all still dealing with that? He's just acknowledging that. He's okay with whatever y'all want to do. So don't worry about it if y'all want to do something different with it. He also keeps acknowledging, thank you. He's been messing with the TV or with the video, the streaming video. So he says he's messed with it or to get y'all's attention. Some weird things may happen where if y'all are watching the show or something, and then something pops up and it has something in common with him, or it has a name connected to him. Because he says that that's how he likes to pop in and say hello. He also keeps it. Thank you. He also keeps acknowledging. Did you feel someone pulling on your foot or on your leg when you were laying down?
I don't think so.
You were watching TV. You would have been watching TV.
Was it maybe when I was like trying to fall asleep?
Yeah, you would have been laying down, so I would assume so. So if you feel something pulling at your leg or pulling on it, that's him messing with you because he just wants to mess with you. He is. He's almost making me feel like I should have followed instructions, or I should have been paying attention, because that's the way he's making me feel. Did he inadvertently cause his own passing? Because I kind of feel like he inadvertently did it. He's not making me feel like he intentionally wanted to take his own life. He makes me feel like this was more incidental or inadvertent. Do you understand that? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you also know there were two other people around him or with him when this happened?
Would it be like family or friends?
Whoever was with them. If there was two people with him when this happened.
Um,
He's showing me two
well,
people, and he's showing me an ambulance. Did y'all have to call an ambulance, or did people? Okay, so he's
Yeah.
trying to give me the details of what happened. Do you know if someone was actually trying to wake him up or trying to get him to breathe?
well, my mom actually found him, but he had already passed.
Do you know if she was trying to wake him up, or she thought he was sleeping and that's what he's talking about? Was there someone else in the house as well, or someone else in the? Because he says two people.
Well, me and my dad were both there after my mom called us that it happened, but there was no one in the room with him when it happened.
Okay, here's the. Why would he say two people? Curious why he said two people, because if it was just your mom, why would he be saying two? Two people. So it's okay. I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that there. No. Did she call the neighbor? Did the neighbor come over as well?
No, my brother came. My older brother who doesn't live with us.
Okay. So your mom was there. Your older brother came over, and then y'all were later, right? Okay.
Yes.
That may be what he's talking about with the two people, because he keeps saying that there was two people that were there. So if your mom was there and then your brother came over and it was both of them, that may be his way of saying that he knows the two that were there, the two that came over. So he's just acknowledging that. Your mom, he says that she was trying to wake him up. He also says he just stopped breathing. He just stopped breathing. He also says that there was a lack of oxygen to his brain, and that's what actually causes passing was a lack of oxygen. He also says that he mixed two substances that had a reaction in his body, and his body kind of went into a reaction mode, but he still feels it was the lack of oxygen that actually led to his passing. Did he have fluid around his mouth or near his mouth?
Like throw up.
Okay, yeah, he's just acknowledging the fluid stuff. So he's just showing me that. He's apologizing to your mom because he didn't want her to have to find him that way, but he's apologizing to her. He's also saying he's tried several times to visit her in a dream to apologize to her and to tell her he was okay. He also says there's a white dog with him as well. So there might have been a white dog that's passed or that was with them in spirit, because he's acknowledging this white dog as well. He also says, thank you. He also says, do you have a bracelet or like a metal round thing that's connected to him?
Well, we've been looking for a watch that belongs to him that we don't know where it's at.
Okay. He might have left it in the vehicle, or he might have left it at a friend's house or friend's vehicle, because it almost feels like being left somewhere by accident. So that's what so it doesn't feel like someone stole it. It just feels like he left it somewhere. So y'all may have to ask around. Okay.
I also wanted to ask about my tia and my cousin who have also passed away. way?
Yeah, your tia, and I'll just connect with your tia because I'm out of time. But with your tia, she is. Thank you. Anniversary. Are we within 30 days of an anniversary date? Oh, oh. Did you hear me? She said, "Are we within 30 days of an?" Yeah, yeah. There's a good. You were freezing up for a second. Let me let you kind of. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Let you unfreeze. Oh. All right, Mama, you're all frozen. You're all like completely frozen. Here's what I'm gonna say. With your tia, I'll make it quick. With your tia, she keeps acknowledging an anniversary date or a date of significance within 30 days. So from right now, 30 days forward or back, she's acknowledging an anniversary date of importance to be aware of that. Okay. All right, guys, I am done. I'm out of time. I love you all. I am going on vacation, so I won't be here next week, but I will be here the following week. Even though I'm going to be on vacation for 2 weeks, I'm not. I'm only going to do no lives for 1 week, so I can give myself an actual 1 week off. But I will be back the following week, so I won't be here next week. Okay, I will be back in about an hour for our study group time. So until then, y'all take care. Okay, bye everybody.